Good evening and welcome to the bar. Last week we discussed brandy, so this week I'll be making you an unforgettable Brandy Alexander. Take a cocktail shaker and fill it with ice. Then add a single measure of cognac to the shaker. Then add a single measure of brown crème de cacao. You can of course achieve the same flavour with white crème de cacao, but it won't quite make the same colour cocktail in the end. Then add a single measure of cream. If you've had your cream for a few days, it will pour slowly, which I'm afraid makes for bad audio. Yes, the sound of silence. Seal your shaker and shake well. Strain into a cocktail glass. Allow a moment or two for the froth to settle on top, before garnishing with freshly grated nutmeg. Breathe in that delightful aroma and serve. There's a reason this is often served as a dessert cocktail. It's rich and creamy, sweet and flavourful. This drink works wonderfully as an after-dinner drink because it's sweet enough to replace dessert. You can make it even sweeter by topping it with whipped cream and drizzling chocolate syrup over the top. Alternatively, drizzle the syrup in the glass before pouring the drink, as you do with chocolate raspberry martinis, and finish with whipped cream. The original Alexander was gin-based, mixing gin, sweet cream and white crème de cacao. It's rarely seen these days, and I would posit this is because gin and cream are an interesting mix. Well, at least that's my opinion on the matter. There are more than a few rumours about how this creamy concoction came to be. There have been many famous Alexanders throughout history, and many of them have had their story tied to this particular cocktail. Drama critic and Algonquin Round Table member Alexander Wilko claimed that it was named after him. Other sources say it was named after the Russian Tsar Alexander II. A popular origin story is that the drink was named after Troy Alexander, a bartender at Rector's, a New York City restaurant, who created the drink in order to serve a white drink at a dinner celebrating Phoebe Snow, a character in a popular advertising campaign in the early 20th century. During Prohibition, drinkers struggled to get hold of the gin and began to swap it for other spirits, and cognac was the one that stuck. As I said before, I feel this is the better choice. Variations on the Alexander besides gin and brandy include using a coffee liqueur instead, which makes for a delightful after-dinner drink that tastes like a festive liqueur coffee. Swap some of the Kahlua for vodka and you get an Alexander the Great. Using triple sec, gin and curacao will give you Alexander's Big Brother, which is a delightful shade of light blue that wouldn't look out of place on the set of a certain sci-fi film. Crème de menthe and gin approaches the grasshopper in taste and is known as Alexander's sister. Meanwhile, vodka and cherry liqueur will make a pastel pink cherry Alexander. There's also another non-creamy cocktail called an Alexander that was published in 1910. It is quite different and seems to bear no relation to the more famous cocktail I have described today. Enjoy that nutmeggy aroma. Let it glide down your throat, that perfect mix of cream and something a little warmer, I'm sure you could use a decent blended whiskey to make a Baileys-like drink out of this, though I probably wouldn't waste a single malt on it. Oh yes, that's warming and delightful. Anyway, I'll leave you to it and let you enjoy that slowly. I'll see you next time when I turn my hand to some mocktails. Dr. Wilko's Campaign for Better Beverages is a production of Tinker Tailor Soldier Sponge Productions. It was researched, written and produced by Dr. Wilko, with additional writing by Bethany Goss. The cocktails were mixed by Dr. Wilko and drunk by Dr. Wilko. The music was George Street Shuffle, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution Free by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. You can support this podcast on Patreon via the show notes and the website drwilko.org/Patreon.